A lot of people do not know that Iyabo Ojo and Naira Marley has history together. Yes. There's a whole lot of things some people do not know about Iyabo Ojo and Naira Marley. Now, I'm going to tell you this. And after that, go and verify. Go and find out. Once upon a time, Iyabo Ojo and Naira Marley was like mother and son. Yes, before Naira Marley even blew. To tell you the truth, Iyabo Ojo was one of the people who made Naira Marley to be popular as a musician today. Yes. They have a very strong bond, a good relationship, as in like mother and son relationship. That whenever Naira Marley releases a song, it was Iyabo Ojo that normally promotes her song, even in her TikTok. Then, you know, she was calling herself the queen of TikTok. She will always promote Naira Marley's song on her platform. Now, the question is, having that strong relationship, mother and son relationship, what went wrong? Have you ever bothered to ask yourself, what went wrong between both of them? To the extent that when this issue concerning who died Mohbad came up, Iyabo Ojo was at the forefront to see that Naira Marley was arrested and jailed. By all means, in fact, she was at the forefront. It was because of Naira Marley that made Iyabo Ojo to become an activist. Ordinarily, Iyabo Ojo was never an activist. Have you ever bothered to ask yourself why? There are so many unanswered questions in Nigeria. So many unanswered questions. Now the question is, what was the relationship between Iyabo Ojo and Mohbad? There was no relationship. There was no connection. What was the relationship between Iyabo Ojo and Wunmi? There was no connection. There was no relationship. But since Mohbad died, that was when the relationship started. All of a sudden, automatically, the question is why? You people in Nigeria, you guys are not reading in between the lines. You don't know that something must have gone wrong. Now, if there was still that bond between Iyabo Ojo and Naira Marley, when all this issue concerning Mohbad's RIP came up in 2023, immediately Iyabo Ojo would have picked up a phone to call Naira Marley. Naira Marley, what am I hearing about this? What actually happened? Then after hearing from Naira Marley, she would have done a separate investigation. Iyabo Ojo was never known to be activist. We only knew Iyabo Ojo to be an actress. Automatically, she became an activist fighting for justice after Mohbad died. Fighting for justice against somebody that was like a son to her. The question is, what changed? What broke that bond between Iyabo Ojo and Naira Marley? That she didn't bother to do investigation. She only wanted to see Naira Marley by all means going behind bars. The question is, what happened? The answer lies in the statement of VDM. Remember, VDM once made mention of the story between Naira Marley and Priscilla, Iyabo Ojo's daughter, that Naira Marley did a forceful entry on Priscilla. Now, nobody refused to push that statement out. VDM was trying to cover that story. But if you can read through the lines, you will discover that that was the reason why Iyabo Ojo was pushing so hard to see that Naira Marley goes behind bars. Now, let me tell you what is going on. You see that story, that statement that Naira Marley made a forceful entry on Priscilla, Iyabo Ojo's daughter, could be true. I think that is where the problem is coming from. Now, for one reason or the other, I don't know, allegedly, but that reason lies in the heart of Iyabo Ojo that made her not to be able to publicly talk about it. But rather, she was looking for a slight opportunity to do payback time against Naira Marley for making a forceful entry on her daughter. You understand? And she was looking for a slight opportunity. Fortunately or unfortunately, opportunity presented itself in the case of Mohbad and Naira Marley. And she now said, yes, let me take over this opportunity to fight for justice, not for Mohbad, but she was fighting for justice for her daughter Priscilla. That was why she created that WhatsApp group. Justice for Mohbad. No, her agenda was not actually fighting for justice for Mohbad. But on the other hand, she was fighting for justice for her daughter Priscilla. It was never justice for Mohbad, but justice for Priscilla. And that is why if you check all the WhatsApp statements, comments, and whatever, it was, how do we get Naira Marley? How do we pull it down? How do we take it down? Let us arrest him. Is Judge on standby? Is this one on standby? Let police peel him. Let this in. And you know that Iyabo Ojo, she started, due to her influence and her cohorts, partner in crime, Toto Dike, they started sending messages to different promotion industry, musical industry. Nobody should promote Naira Marley song. She was fighting tooth and nail to pull down Naira Marley. The question is, why? From a mother to a son? If a mother has a son and the son does something bad, what will she do? First of all, she will want to investigate. Number two, she will try to call the son to order and say what happened and find the root of the matter. But no, Iyabo Ojo never bothered to do any investigation concerning the matter. But what? She was attacking. Payback time. Yes, for what you did to my daughter. Payback time. Now the news is, did Naira Marley actually do that forceful entry on the daughter Priscilla? Nobody knows. That is another investigation for another time. Not be me go do that investigation. Naira Marley and Iyabo Ojo and Priscilla, three of them are alive. So let them go to the court to talk about it. But using the disguise of justice for Mohbad, on the other hand, indirectly, you were fighting for justice for your daughter, Priscilla. That is total deceit and unacceptable. If you are fighting for your daughter, you come out publicly and say, this is justice for my daughter Priscilla. Not using justice for Mohbad, and you have a secret agenda. And that is what is actually happening that Nigerians don't know about. She came in the name of justice for Mohbad, but unknowing to Nigerians that she was fighting for justice for her daughter Priscilla against Naira Marley. So we can clearly see that this is where the problem is coming from. Go and read all the comments in that WhatsApp group. There was nothing like, let us fight for Mohbad. Mohbad must get justice. For where all the agenda was Naira Marley. How do we get Naira Marley? How do we finish Naira Marley? How do we pull him down? How do we scatter his career? That was the agenda, not for Mohbad. She was fighting indirectly for Priscilla. Mukuna read through the lines. So Nigerians, be wise. Be wise. Iyabo Ojo is the masterminder of everything that is happening, even in that WhatsApp group. May nobody open mouth say Iyabo Ojo doesn't know anything. She knows everything. So Nigerians, go and investigate. So I don't talk past like this. Nigerians, read between the lines. Something is wrong somewhere. There was a strong relationship between Iyabo Ojo and Naira Marley in the first place. Long time ago. Some time ago. What happened? What scatter the relationship? You people should try to find out and discover that the evil plot of Iyabo Ojo against Naira Marley. I rest my case. Please share this video. Drop your comment in the comment section. Follow my page if you are watching me for the very first time. Until I come here again next time, always remember this. God loves you so much. God bless you. Shalom.